poltergeist activity seems to all but have taken over the Gouda family house in Devon. Strangely enough, though, the family aren't interested in getting rid of the troublesome spirits. In fact, they seem to rather like them. Surprising that, particularly considering that one of the incidents that happened seemed to suggest that the spirits have an affinity with The Exorcist. That's The Exorcist, the movie.
We've experienced quite a few things since we've been here. It began not long after we moved into the house, and it's still, over the years, we've been here 11 years now, and it's still going on today. The last one happened was last week with my son.
I'd just gone to bed, and the next thing I knew, when I was woken by the telly. It's been turned on by somehow that I don't know. And it was The Exorcist, the making of The Exorcist that was on telly when I woke up, which is, you know, slightly spooky.
Spooky indeed, especially since Danny knows that the television couldn't have come on by itself.
There was no way that the telly could have been turned on by myself, like I say, because I was asleep. The telly was off, actually off, not on standby or nothing, it was actually off. And I got out of bed, not thinking too much about it. Turned it off, slightly sort of spooked, I sort of just went back to sleep.
The story doesn't end there. Its finale suggests whatever was turning on the television really didn't want to watch The Exorcist through until the end. Weird.
I woke up in the morning and the telly was on standby. The telly would have to be turned on and then switched off by the remote control to be left on to standby. So I don't know how that happened.
It's got to be to do with the building, because we lived 13 years in our other house and we never felt or heard, it's the noises or smelt anything. It's definitely the house.
Still, the only exorcist likely to enter this house is the one in the movie.
Never had to enlist or get an exorcist to do anything. I'm quite happy living here with whoever's here. When we first came here, yes, it was a bit unnerving, but no, it doesn't bother us at all. I think they're quite friendly.
Jackie may be happy to live with whoever is in the house, but whoever, or whatever it is, certainly seems to be getting up to a lot of poltergeist activity.
My mum had an annex built about 2.5 years ago. She's experienced quite a few things in there.
I sit in this chair, or as I said, be knitting and looking at the telly, and I've got an archway coming from my kitchen into the lounge here, and I can see a reflection. I've got a light over the cooker, and there's a reflection there, and nearly every night I see a shadow pass through the reflection.
The incidents go on, and some, like the next, have a very eerie feel to them.
We booked a new music centre one Christmas. We were desperately trying to tape off of the CD, the record, off of the radio, tape to tape, nothing would work. And all we got was a tape recording of sort of a weird sort of noise. It was like three sort of noises. It was like a marsh, sort of swampy noise, like almost crickets. It was like an animal or something growling, and like a human sort of breathing noise. We called an engineer in. He played this tape and said, well, I've never heard really anything like that in all my sort of experience or, you know, repairs and one thing or another. So we've got a friend who is a psychic who lives in Gloucestershire. So I said, is it okay to send it up to you? And he said, yeah, fine, no problem. Sent it up to him. He tried to play it on his stereo. Nothing, it was completely blank. All he could hear basically was just the noise of the tape rolling round. Things went wrong in his house. He keeps lizards and snakes, and one of his lizards died. He'd got a lodger living there who decided to live with his girlfriend, so he was out of pocket. And he said lots of things have gone wrong in the house since, you know, I've had this tape here. So he said, I'm sending it back to you, and my advice is to you, basically, to get rid of the tape. I've not even tried to tape anything again like that.
And yet another eerie encounter.
Sitting here, and we heard a crash. My granddaughter and I looked at each other, and we we both wondered what it was, and she said, I think it's come from your bathroom. Well, I've got an area that I put across my bath to air or dry any little bits that I've got around. And when I got up and we went out there, there's the area upside down against the door. It wasn't on the floor, or it's just been placed against the door. So we were both, really shocked about that.
And another.
My husband was doing bookwork in the dining room, sitting at the table. We've only got, it's very low ceiling, so there's no overhead lights as such. So he grabbed hold of the table lamp, moved it over and put it on the table in front of him so he got a good light on his paperwork. He was there for a while. I was out in the kitchen, and all of a sudden he just came flying through from the dining room. And I said, what on earth's wrong with you? And he said, you're not going to believe it. He said, the shade on the table lamp has just sort of spun round several times for no reason. And it unnerved him a bit.
Unnerved perhaps, but not enough to want to move those spirits on. It's a bit of a mystery as to why the Gouda family still want them to stay. They don't want to invite an exorcist or indeed any other form of medium to visit their house. They're quite happy with things just as they are.
I don't think I was scared. There's always that air of mystery, you don't know what could have happened.
At the time, sometimes your heart, misses a beat. You think, oh, what was that? Once it's happened, you forget about the things. But it's just a weird experience to sort of have, and you don't really know why it's happening.